Here we go. Hey, everybody, let's wave at Kurt Wicker and Aurora. All right, everybody, taking off. I'm going to do a couple of photo passes here for you. This is Rich Wallen out of Smoketown, Pennsylvania. He's got an Aeronca L-16A. A. Why do I feel like the Fonz when I say A? Kurt Wicker is taxiing back here, everybody. Let's keep that wave going. And here is Mike and Kitty Flacken with an N2S Stearman. Look familiar? Well, it should. That's how Stearmans were built many, many, many years ago. Kurt Wicker's got the engine on Aurora shut down. You let him take his helmet off. All right, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for Kurt Wicker flying Aurora. Coming in from the left here, all 85 horsepower pulling in the same direction. It's Rich Wallen and his Aeronca L-16A. This airplane was used as what was called a liaison aircraft during World War II. And what they were used for was ferrying messages, ferrying people, included wounded soldiers, but also for spotting the Germans. And very early on in World War II, the Germans learned not to shoot at these guys because they would call in heavier aircraft to deal with the problem. This is the N2S Stearman. Quite a big difference in the sound of this airplane. It's powered by a 220 horsepower, 7-cylinder Continental radial engine. Interesting point here. This is also the same engine that was used to power the Sherman tank. Here's Rich Wallen. I hope you're taking lots of pictures of these two guys, because once they complete their photo passes here, they're heading for home. The L-birds were based on civilian aircraft that were already in production when World War II broke out. The military said, look, we need spotter aircraft. What do you got? Aeronca stepped up, Piper stepped up, Stinson stepped up, and they all manufactured a bunch of airplanes, some of them with special modifications, whereas the N2S Stearman here was used as a training aircraft. 2 ailerons, 220 horsepower. This is the airplane as it was originally built way back when, during World War II. Mike and Kitty Flacken in it. And as you can see, it looks like a lot of fun to fly, and it sure is. And by the way, this airplane is aerobatic as well. They were designed and built that way many years ago. Of course, you double the horsepower, put 2 more ailerons on it, and woohoo! The Aeronca L-16A that just went by there, Rich Wallen at the controls, has become one of the new movements out here in the warbird community. They call them war bugs. The beautiful part about these airplanes is that they are inexpensive to buy, they're inexpensive to fly, the insurance is a lot less, and they fly just like their civilian counterparts. There is very few differences in the handling qualities. Here's that N2S3 again. This airplane is based over in Lakewood, New Jersey. We all know what Lakewood is famous for. Of course, everybody knows the Hindenburg. That was where her last flight ended. And pretty poorly, I might add. Looks like Rich Wallen might be setting up for his photo pass here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I understand that Rich Wallen with his Aeronca L-16A and also Mike and Kitty Flacken with their N2S Stearman, they're going to be setting up for photo passes. Now, want to warn you, after these high-speed photo passes, we're going to take a break and let the car people do their thing. They've got awards they're going to pass out. We're going to take a break. Look at the speed on this Aeronca airplane. The fact that it is low and slow is actually a good thing, because you can park this airplane just about anywhere. You can squeak this airplane into a space as small as a football field. And behind the lines during the war, that was a very valuable asset of the L-birds. Coming around from the left, here's Mike and Kitty Flacken with their Stearman. Rich Wallen just called the air boss and said, we are heading for home. He's out there heading to Smoketown, PA. Here comes the Stearman.